and welcome to Murder Chronicles. I'm your host, Sarah. In today's episode, we look into the story of a Kenyan magistrate who was shot during a court proceeding. Chief Magistrate Monicah Kivuti was shot by a Kenyan senior police officer, namely Samson Kivuti. This is because the magistrate had rejected the officer's wife's request to be released on a cash bail. If you would like to know the full details and what happened after, then let's take a look together. Chief Magistrate Monicah Kivuti was born on June 12, 1978. Her parents were the late Samuel and Vayoni Saita Kivuti. She grew up in Embu and was a devoted Christian. She served in the Kenyan judicial system only for 11 years before her untimely death. She was married to her dear husband, Mutima Kangata, and they have 3 beautiful daughters. On the fateful day of June 13, 2024, she was only doing her job when she was faced with a gruesome fate. She was shot by a police officer, namely Samson Kivuti, after she refused bailing his wife. Chief Inspector Samson was 55 years old, and Jennifer Wairimo was his second wife. He was the OCS at Londiani. The event took place at Makadara Law Court, which were closed after the fateful incident. Both Samson and Jennifer had traveled from Londiani, Kericho to attend a court case. Jennifer Wairimo had been accused of obtaining 2.9 million Kenyan shillings through deception. The woman had asked to be released on cashless, but the magistrate rejected the request. Her request was rejected because she had absconded from court sessions. Jennifer claimed that the reason for her failure to attend court sessions previously was because she had been seriously ill. On this Thursday of the tragedy, Jennifer had appeared to court after her request for bail conditions were lifted, and the magistrate ordered her remanded in custody at Langata Women's Prison. Mr. Samson got enraged. He sneaked into the court through the magistrate's door and shot Kivuti, wounding her in the chest and the pelvic area. Immediately after shooting the magistrate, Samson's companions quickly engaged and shot the superior officer, and he died on the spot. The events were happening inside a tent that served as a courtroom. 3 officers were injured in the process, where one of them was hit in the left eye, another in the left leg, and a third one in the left hand. Fortunately, the officers were rushed to the hospital and were in stable conditions. A Jericho pistol belonging to the OCS was recovered at the crime scene. Fellow officers described him as hot-tempered, and he had a history of harassing suspects. A section of the Londiani residents expressed strong resentment about the late OCS. Magistrate Monicah Kivuti was rushed to Metropolitan Hospital in Buruburu, where she was taken at the ICU. She was later transferred to Nairobi Hospital. Unfortunately, the following day on 14th of June 2024, the Chief Magistrate succumbed to the injuries. She left behind her husband, Mutima Kangata, and their 3 daughters. The first daughter is Josephine, followed by Michelle, and then Eliana Wanjiru. The magistrate was laid to rest at her husband's rural home in Yacha, Machakos County on the 22nd of June 2024. A dull mood embraced Mamba village in Yacha, where the slain magistrate was laid to rest. Members of the judicial community eulogized her as diligent, saying she was passionate in her work.
We have been talking security forever. We have excellent reports on what should be done to secure us as we discharge our responsibilities. Those reports are not even worth the paper they are written on. We have done nothing. And so for how long are we going to do nothing about our lives? Our lives matter. They matter.
Those who knew her well laud her as a firm, fair, and hard-working judicial officer dedicated to the cause of justice. She had no dent during the time she served as a judicial officer. And as JSC, we send our condolences to her family, the Makadara family, and the judiciary as a whole.
In the immediate phase, we have, as a judiciary, engaged the Ministry of Interior and National Administration and the Office of the Inspector General of Police to deploy additional officers to reinforce the judiciary police unit and reorganize it into a fully fledged police unit under the leadership of a senior commanding officer with fully functional secretariat.
Magistrate Kivuti was admitted to the bar in 2008 and became a magistrate 6 years later, that is 2014. Her presence in the courtroom illuminated the legal proceedings and inspired many. Her commitment to justice and fairness made a difference in the lives of countless individuals, both within and outside the system. In her last moments, the magistrate was greatly worried about her 18-month-old daughter, Eliana Wanjiru, as she fought for her life. In a moving tribute, her husband, lawyer Kangata, revealed that they had advanced plans to set up a country home in a piece of land which their family had acquired recently at Mamba Village, Yatta Plateau.
My tribute today is in form of a letter to my dear wife. And if you allow me, I'll read it aloud. My dear Moni, you know that I met you at the lowest point in my life. And during the few years we have shared together, you helped me pick up and piece together my life. On December 2nd, 2022, at 9:30 a.m. at Nairobi Hospital, our dear little Eliana came into this troubled world, bringing to us unparalleled joy and happiness to our entire family. It is ironic that God chose the same hospital as your point of departure, or rather point of exit from our lives. Down here we are extremely pained and distressed as a family, especially considering the senseless and tragic circumstances that has led to your sudden departure. Do you remember when I arrived at the emergency room at the Metropolitan Hospital in Buruburu? You are in excruciating pain, but when you saw me, you calmed down, looked at me, and asked, "How is Eliana?" I responded that Eliana was well and that I had left her sleeping. It was then that you closed your eyes and did not talk again. Looking back now, I realize that your biggest concern at that moment was the welfare of our little Eliana. And now that you have left us, I want to assure you that with God's help, I will bring up Eliana the best way I know how. You therefore need not worry about her. I wish to inform you that we have planned to lay you to rest on a little piece of land in Nalani Yatta. I know my decision to have you laid to rest there will raise many questions among our friends and perhaps even our relatives. But between you and me, we know why that is so. We bought this parcel of land at the end of February 2024, and we were intent on building our country home there. Indeed, you are very excited about settling down in Yatta. You will recall the Sunday before the tragic shooting incident happened, I went to the land with an architect and a contractor, and incidentally the contractor and the architect are among us this morning. And we were both set to commence construction. In the circumstances, I have decided to fulfill your dream of settling you on the land, on the said land, albeit posthumously. It really does not matter what our relatives, friends, and even the public at large will make of it. What now matters to me is that by doing so, I will have honored your dreams and wishes about that piece of land. And in that regard, once the dust has settled, I will immediately proceed to put up the house of your dreams as we had intended. Sorry dear, I am now running late in submitting my written tribute for inclusion in the program for your burial, which is scheduled for June 22nd, 2024. Therefore, with your permission, let me stop there. Darling, is certain I will always love and cherish the memories of the times we had together. Koma thayo mwenda wakwa, rest in peace, my love, till we meet again. Signed off, Mr. K. Mr. K was her preferred mode of addressing me, and the name has stuck among the family and friends. And maybe of the script, in fact, when we get down to the land, you find that it is vacant land. And in fact, we attended the land board here at Kivimani on 29th of February. And it happens that the chairman, or rather the chair of the land board, is also present here with us. I could not see any better way, any more befitting way of meeting her desires. And because I intend to settle on that land, me and the family, I was not going to countenance laying her to rest anywhere else. And by the way, for your information, this Mamba is my village. So I was trying to get back, to bring back home in Yatta. And it is for that reason that I needed to talk to her. And I think as part of the healing process, I still have her phone. I intend to be communicating with her. Thanks be to God, we have the technology, we have the WhatsApp. So that conversation between me and her will continue by WhatsApp. Because I know I may not have another opportunity to, maybe I may not have an opportunity to talk to you, allow me at this point to personally express my deep felt gratitude to all those who have been involved in the preparations for this occasion. Of special mention is the judiciary, the Chief Justice, the judges, the magistracy, and the judiciary staff. They have stood with us from the 13th day of June when this incident happened. And all I can say is I'm overwhelmed and touched by the support that we have received. I can see so many judges led by Justice Daniel Musinga, Justice Radido, former colleague at the Anti-Corruption Authority. I can see Justice I'm forgetting the Bogo. I see Justice Catherine, Catherine Minotti, and many others. I think, let me sum it up by saying thank you very, very, very much for your support, and may God bless you.
While fighting for her life at Nairobi Hospital, Kivuti did not concentrate on her pain. She rather showed her concern over their youngest daughter, who was only 18 months old. "How is Eliana?" she had asked, and her husband responded that he had left the baby sleeping. Although Magistrate Kivuti would not be around to see her dream being fulfilled, Kangata promised that he was going to make sure that he set a home at the village area to fulfill the magistrate dreams. Nothing could erase the pain her family went through. In the end, Kivuti's death should become a catalyst for change. Her courage inspired a new generation of Kenyans to stand up against corruption in Kenya, ensuring that her expression of fighting for justice would live on even in her absence. Even though Magistrate Monicah Kivuti was gone, the principles she stood for were more alive than ever, echoing through corridors of power, reminding those in authority that truth and justice could never truly be silenced. May her soul rest in perfect peace.